Alright, there are a number of jobs we're going to be doing on this. One is there is a rubber grommet here that's gone rock hard. Consequently it's leaking all the time. So that means I've got to take this cover off, which means I'll have to take this off. But first I want to drain what oil is in there. The drain plug is this little thing here, and it is actually a 1/4 Allen screw. So let's see what happens when we try and undo it. It's going to chuck oil everywhere, it's not going to go where I want it to go. In fact, let me see if I can get something a little more absorbent. Let's see what happens when we get this plug out, huh? You see the stand is right in the way to stop you putting an oil pan underneath and catching the oil that's about to come out. Ooh, could I be lucky? Alright, let's just let that drain for a while. There is a little rubber seal on here. I'll be replacing that. So I'll leave that for about 10 or 15 minutes to drain before I attempt to take this off. I'll be back. Okay, now hopefully we can get some good videoing here. I'll try. I've got to take off the gear lever here. Now, does it matter where it goes back on? Well, yes and no. Yes, because you want to be able to change gears, but no, because it's where you feel comfortable with your foot tucking under. I mean, you can have it up here if you want. That's not where I like it. I like it where it is. And I won't be changing the gear once I've undone this nut and taken the gear lever off. Then I will be removing these nuts to get this cover off. But in the meantime, I'm going to start draining other oils because I'm doing all oil changes. Therefore, let me see what else I got to do. Right, let me see here. I'm going to keep those two things together. This is just my own shit. Yeah, this is lovely, isn't it? It gets all over the exhaust. That's alright. It doesn't actually have much oil in here. Probably because most of it's leaked out. Oh dear. Looks like something touched the hot exhaust. Oh, that's a bitch. Well, it was probably plastic, so it'll come off. Let me have a look underneath and see what I gotta do. Oh my God, is that leaking? Good heavens above, old chap. Oh, there is oil and all sorts of shit under here. Right, I will show you. Just give me a second. I'm going to get set up here so that you can see what I can see. In fact, no, I think I might be able to. Now, as you can see here, there is oil leaking. This is a drain plug. Behind this casing is a filter. It's a gauze filter that you clean. So I will be getting that off. First thing I'm going to do is disconnect this screw here and pull that pipe off. And I will also check that that pipe hasn't gone brittle, and if it has, I will replace it. I don't have the gaskets for this, but that doesn't matter because I'll just make them. Aren't I clever? Right, let me now get that piece of shit off and get the oil draining. You undo these 4 bolts and it all comes off. However, first you drain it with this one here, and I believe it is a 5/8. Let me check. Well, I am extremely sad to say that is fucking metric shit. Triumph, I'm disappointed in you. But for my viewers, it is a 15mm. I guess I'm going to find half metric and half imperial or proper stuff on this bike. Yep, that is a 15mm. Okay, I'm going to move you out the way so you don't get covered in oil. We'll be back. Okay, now it is time to remove that hose clamp. And as expected, it's imperial. It's a 1/4. Well, I've taken the clip off. That hose is rock hard. I will have to replace it. Here we go. These nuts are next. They're 1/2 inch. Now behind there is a filter. I might just have to cut this hose off. Tell you what, let's see what happens when I try undoing these nuts. Oh, hazelnuts. I'm going to give this a damn good clean under here. Oh yes, and you see the oil dripping onto my my thumb there out of the drain plug. I was putting the drain plug back in. Of course I dropped it. Where did it go? Straight into the oil. Yeah, I know. I should know better. I should have known better with a girl like you. And I would love everything that you do. Who sung that? And if you don't know that, oh dear. I bet this won't come off. Oh dear. Camera, have you recovered? Come on. Camera, come on, talk to me. Come on. There we go. Alright, oh dear. It's very hard to get the camera to work under here, guys, so you're just going to have to be a little tolerant. As you can see, there is more crap coming out. Wow. And there is that filter. Look at it. I'll tell you what, it doesn't look bad. There's some small metal filings on it. Nothing terrible. But of course I don't have the gaskets as I previously mentioned. The oil's looking a little darkish. Not terrible, but you see that? Can you see that? Look at this sludge. So we're going to give this a good clean up. We're going to replace that hose. So I'm going to find the other end of that hose, chop it off. I'm going to give this a fucking good clean under here. And up in there too. Yeah. Alright, just going to let that drain for a little while. Whilst I find the other end. Wonder where the other end goes. Up me bum. Now, there is another drain plug there for the other side. Let me see if I can show you. Right, there underneath you can see there is another drain plug. I remember when I was young and I had a Royal Enfield. You had one oil tank, that was it. This fucker's got 3 places to put oil. Okay, let me clean that up and get that plug out and see what comes out of there. Well, got the filter out, the casing out, into my parts washer. As I mentioned, that rubber hose is rock solid. I will be replacing that with a piece of transmission hose that is oil resistant and can stand the pressure. You can see on the darker side here, sludge, but very few metal filings, and by that I mean there is a couple there, but nothing to be worried about. I will have to make up gaskets, as I've mentioned, for this, and I do have a gasket sheet ready to do that, which is oil stuff. This oil resistant jointing, so I'll be making up a couple of gaskets for that. I will be doing a little trick that I saw on another video, and I will leave the video link in the description, where he took this filter out, of course, and then got an oil stone to make sure that this plate was level, which is, it's a good idea to do that. So I will do that. FYI, this end, that screw was doing fuck all. I just pulled it off. So, you know, it's good, especially when you've got an old farting bike like me, like mine, to replace these. I mean, look at that, it's, yeah, it ain't rock steady, it's rock solid. So that's all going to be cleaned out now, and flatted, and there's still some more oil to drain. Okay, to steal an expression from my buddy at Church House Classics, whatever ham-fisted gibbon was here previously didn't use gaskets. Well, let me rephrase that. He used one gasket, or she, and just put goop on the other side. So now I can take this apart. Oh, good God. And they slapped that goop everywhere. I mean, they were excessive with it. Now, I appreciate you want to seal, but good God. God knows what it is. It's not a sealant I recognise. It's white, and it's yuck. So, give that a clean off. I will then be oil stoning this, as I previously mentioned. But first, let's give it all a good clean. And, well, I can get it back on. Now, one thing I did notice that the other guy did, he annealed the copper washer. I think that is so it makes a good seal. I'm going to see if I've got a new one. If I don't, then I will do the same process. Or if you're in America, it's a process. And is it a project or a project? Is it a prostitute or a prostitute? Yes, these are things that are conundrums. Alright, let's get this shit cleaned up. Okay, this is before cleaning. Now let's go to after. And here is the after. I've given it a quick sandblast and a wash, hence the reason this is still a little damp here and here-ish. I still have to put the oil stone on there, and I will show you that before I close this video down. There's really not much you can do with that. Clean it. That's all I can tell you. Clean it, and if you don't, if you're not like me and have a sandblaster, then use a wire brush. But be careful. This is a very fine mesh. You don't want to fuck it up. So let me get a oil stone on this, just to show you where the high spots are, and I can see them without even putting the oil stone on it. So give me a second. Okay, here it is, before. Let's see how we do, shall we? Right, let's have a look, shall we? Well, I tell you what, that isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. High spot here. Hang on, sorry, let me just... Bit of a high spot here. A little there. Nothing much there. Or there. So I'll give this a little bit of a further go, then I'll flip the stone over to the finer grade, and then I'm going to be going, yeah, that's okay. I mean, I'm not going to go crazy with it. I'm going to be putting a paper gasket on, there's going to be sealant, so it should be good. All right, this is part one, coming to an end. It's not just an oil change, as I mentioned, it's all sorts of other things I'm doing. So maybe it's a little longer video than just an oil change, and if you want that, then there's plenty of videos out there that just cover the oil change. So, do like me, get out in that garage, go do some shit. Okay, there it is. I have... And I turned that then because there was a shadow. Me and my shadow. Yes, I know I shouldn't sing, but I want to. So I have done an oil stone on this, and this is now quite flat. The light makes it look as if it's got low patches, and it hasn't. As you can see, each time I turn it, the dark patches here. So that is now perfectly flat. Yes, even though my oil stone may not have been perfectly flat, because of the movement I did, it is now flat. And I don't mean the oil stone, I mean this piece. Now, next is to make up two gaskets to fit this. And, you know, they will be to that edge. So, I'm just going to draw the main outer part. Yeah, and then I'll figure something out that's got that kind of diameter. You know, when you pick up something, you go, You see, look at that. A tape reel. That's all it is. Flip it over in case the eyes are confusing you. So I can draw the outer gasket, then just draw the inner piece here, and know that it's going to be the same as that. You gotta improvise. And yes, it will be with that gasket material there. I'll make those two up, and we'll see it all going together in the next video. Bye for now. Go do some shit.